A reversible process can be exactly reversed back to the initial state without any irreversible change to the environment. What does that mean? And so that's the definition we were discussing on the key concepts slide. And the example I used there was of a car engine braking, and that might represent configuration A to configuration B. And then we said, well, if someone has to actually come in and repair that engine in order to bring it back to the operating configuration A state, that definitely represents an irreversible change to the environment. But another way of putting it is like if you took like a video recording of the engine braking, and then you took a video recording of a person repairing that engine, and you played both of them and you asked, okay, is the one just the video being shown in reverse? We'd all say, well, no, it's not. There is a person there in the one case doing something. Even if a person had broken in the first place, it would be obvious to us that the one process was different from the other. So it turns out that actually is a good interpretation or a good way of looking at some processes and saying, well, let's just look at it and think, like, if you took a video of this and played it in reverse, would you be able to tell that something is wrong? Because most likely, if you do see something that is wrong, something that doesn't make sense to us human beings, in other words, it's not something we would see. Take as an example, we're going to look at this in a future example, some of the details, but like an object dropping onto the floor. Is that whole process, including the bouncing, crashing, whatever it does on the floor, is that a reversible process? Well, if you ran it backwards, an object that maybe got crushed or whatever a little bit, dented, cracked perhaps when it landed on the floor, if you played that in reverse, it would almost as if by magic like repair itself and then spring into the air with nobody actually doing anything. In reality, to achieve that, a person would have to go in and maybe glue or bang back into position, depending on whether it's made out of a brittle material or something that's malleable, right? Whatever object that dropped onto the floor, and then lift it back up. And when you saw that video, it would be clear, okay, that one makes sense. But in that one, the environment was clearly irreversibly changed because the person doing all those actions had to expend energy to do that. When you simply rolled the tape back, it didn't make sense. And in that sense, we can rely on our intuition a little bit more by making that connection and recognizing that thinking about it in terms of a video is a good way of looking at things. So it says here in the answer, a simpler description is that the process makes sense equally viewed forward in time as backward in time, in the sense that a video of the process in reverse looks just fine, with no measurable effects that violate the laws of physics.